Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including a record quarter of deliveries, the new Model Y finally confirmed, Model S deliveries in China, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, I just want to say Happy New Year and a big thanks to everyone for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it and look forward to another year of detailed Tesla and EV coverage. Tesla announced their delivery and production numbers for Q4 2022, closing out the year officially. As continues to be the case, Tesla broke all delivery quarter records, producing a total of 439,701 vehicles and delivering 405,278 vehicles. The division of those is that they produced 20,613 Model S's and X's and delivered 17,147 of them. They produced 419,088 Model 3s and Ys and delivered 388,131 of them. For the year in total, they produced 1,369,611 vehicles and delivered 1,313,851. Pretty remarkable that 1 year ago there were 1.3 million less Tesla vehicles on the road. Their growth is continuing in a substantial way. On their press release, they said, quote, "In 2022, vehicle deliveries grew 40% year over year to 1.31 million, while production grew 47% year over year to 1.37 million. We continued to transition towards a more even regional mix of vehicle builds, which again led to a further increase in cars in transit at the end of the quarter." This somewhat explains the gap between production and deliveries in Q4, since they are spreading deliveries out a bit more throughout the quarter. As for their financial results, they plan to announce those on Wednesday, January 25th. Quote, "Tesla management will hold a live question and answer webcast that day at 4:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time to discuss the company's financial and business results and outlook." As can happen with delivery records, though, Tesla missed analyst estimates. The general consensus was that Tesla would deliver about 418,000 vehicles. They made more than that many, but they only delivered 405,000. Again, Tesla will be delivering those vehicles this quarter, but certain factors may make things difficult in the near future. Tesla's prices are high, the EV tax credit we thought the Model Y would qualify for only applies to the 7-seater, and Tesla is no longer offering a $7,500 credit or 10,000 supercharger miles with a vehicle purchase. We'll see how this all develops, but regardless of a missed analyst consensus, Tesla grew production 40% this past year. That's an incredible accomplishment, and 2023 should only continue this pattern and finally see the introduction of the Cybertruck. At the same time Tesla announced these results, Martin Viecha, Tesla's head of investor relations, announced that Tesla will be holding an investor day on March 1st. This is separate from the annual shareholder meeting. Quote, "Some of our institutional and retail investors will be able to attend in person, details to follow, and see Giga Texas production line and meet management." There's a lot in store for Tesla this year, including Cybertruck production, a revamped Model 3, a potential new Gigafactory, and Tom Zhu, Tesla's president in China, potentially having a larger role. We're almost certain about a new Model Y as well, which we'll detail in just a minute. One very interesting detail on the delivery consensus that was sent by Tesla's head of investor relations prior to Tesla's official announcement is what they list for other models. Obviously, right now, Tesla's main vehicles are the Model 3 and Y, and then the Model S and X. In these estimates, though, we can see analysts predicting Tesla selling 39,250 units of all other models. Those would likely include the Cybertruck Semi and any future cheaper Tesla. By 2026, analysts see Tesla delivering about 3 million vehicles a year, with 534,946 of them being other models. It's very interesting to see this and consider the other vehicles Tesla is planning for, but it likely leaves out a lot of production. Based on Tesla's speed of ramping so far, the Cybertruck, Semi, and other $25,000 EV or robotaxi would likely scale up much faster than this accounts for, and it's a big thing to consider for future Tesla delivery records. They won't plan to introduce another vehicle if it hurts the scaling of another. Not only will deliveries of their 4 vehicles grow, but so will entirely new vehicles. Next up today, when Tesla first announced the Model Y, its lineup was quite a bit different than it is today. There were 4 options, priced far cheaper than they are today. These included a standard range model for $39,000, a long-range rear-wheel drive model for $47,000, a long-range all-wheel drive model for $51,000, and a performance model for $60,000. At this exact moment, Tesla is offering vehicles in inventory and taking new configured orders, but their pricing has yet to change. Today, Tesla only sells the top 2 trims, and they are $65,990 and $69,990 before taxes and fees. That makes them $14,990 and and $9,990 more expensive, respectively, than originally announced. Tesla even sold the long-range Model Y for $48,990 at one point, which sounds like a myth at this point since it's priced $17,000 higher today. In any case, at one point, for a very short period of time in early 2021, Tesla sold a standard range Model Y in the United States. This vehicle was available to configure on their website and came in at $41,990. It was rear-wheel drive and got a 244-mile EPA range. They ended up removing this, reportedly due to its low range, but they continued to sell this car out of Giga Shanghai. The question for a long time has been, when will Tesla finally reintroduce this in the United States? It has plenty of range for a lot of people and could be much more attainable than a $65,990 vehicle. Well, Tesla appears to finally be introducing a standard range Model Y in the US, but it's not exactly what we were hoping for. Last year, Tesla shipped first Model Ys with their new 4680 cells and structural battery packs. They only shipped them briefly to employees and through inventory, as 4680 production wasn't keeping up. But the interesting thing was that it was a standard range model. This vehicle disappeared, but all the signs were there that Tesla would reintroduce this in 2023. They filed for and received official EPA approval to sell the vehicle as a 2023 model, and just last week, Tesla confirmed 4680 run rates. They confirmed that they now make enough 4680 batteries each week to supply 1,000 vehicles. As of December 25th, they had produced 868,000 4680 cells in total, so they likely have a lot of batteries and packs stockpiled for upcoming 4680 vehicle production. These could go in the Model Y or Cybertruck, but now code has leaked for Tesla finally adding this configuration to their online configurator. Code trackers who regularly check on Tesla's configurator found that Tesla has added a new Model Y configuration to the back end of their website. The specs exactly match that of the standard range all-wheel drive 4680 Model Y briefly introduced last year. It gets a range of 279 miles, a 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and comes in at $61,990. Very soon we'll be seeing another Model Y configuration introduced, and the exciting thing about it is that it's finally the Model Y 2.0 Tesla and Elon Musk have talked about for a long time. It's the first vehicle using their own battery cells and structural battery pack, and should lead to many advantages in the future. While it's a standard range vehicle, it's the first generation of Tesla using these cells at scale, so it actually makes sense. Long term, they'll make more and more vehicles this way. While we originally expected 4680 cells to bring big advantages and make the Model Y much better, that process will take quite some time. We'll likely see these improvements slowly over time and look back in a few years to truly recognize the progress. What's very unfortunate here is that the price is still higher than the originally announced performance long-range Model Y pricing. Of course, a lot has changed in the world for the supply chain and for Tesla as a whole, but a $62,000 Model Y doesn't exactly make this car much more attainable. It does open up that new battery type for more customers though, and offer a cheaper model that's still dual motor. For many, that's great to see since standard range has typically only been available with rear-wheel drive. In any case, very soon we should see Tesla introduce this vehicle out of Giga Texas. Over at Giga Texas, Tesla has achieved a run rate of 3,000 Model Ys per week. That's Model Y production with 2170 cells and no structural pack, so the assumption is that the 4680 Model Y would be on an entirely different line, just adding to that production. Giga Texas would be introducing both configurations of that vehicle, and Fremont would continue going strong with the current long-range and performance Model Y. As we know now, it appears that even this standard range Model Y will not qualify for the EV tax credit unless it includes 7 seats. Another confirmation that Tesla plans to introduce this vehicle comes on that IRS website. They list manufacturers and models for new qualified clean vehicles purchased in 2023 or after, and this page details the MSRP cap that applies to vehicles eligible for a tax credit. For Tesla, they list 6 different Model Ys, and the first one is Model Y all-wheel drive 5-seat variant. This is specifically how Tesla lists the new all-wheel drive 4680 model. They distinguish it from others by adding long range. Essentially, they want this to be seen as the base model without calling it standard range. The IRS gives the 5-seaters a $55,000 MSRP cap, which means that no Model Y will qualify for any form of an EV tax credit, even though the 7-seater, along with many other hybrids, qualifies for an $80,000 MSRP cap as an SUV. It's all very confusing, but now GM's vehicles have been added to the list. We can see that they have submitted 3 vehicles so far, all of which are subject to the $55,000 cap. The Chevy Bolt EUV, and Cadillac Lyriq are all capped at $55,000. This means that Tesla isn't the only one facing these weird requirements. The Cadillac Lyriq at at $62,990 to start, is excluded from any tax credit because the IRS sees it as a sedan. Again, to compare here as I did in my last video with the Model Y, the Lyriq, which is not considered an SUV, is 15 inches longer than the Ford Escape Hybrid, which is considered an SUV. The Lyriq also weighs about 2,000 pounds more than that car, so I still have yet to figure out what makes an SUV in these qualified clean vehicle details. As we can see in this chart, there are 5 hybrid vehicles eligible for a $7,500 tax credit, whereas the Model Y is eligible for $0 unless it has 7 seats. The same applies for certain Mach-E trims and the Lyriq, as I just mentioned. In response to this, Elon of course said this is messed up. Many would argue he's just mad that this will hurt Tesla, but this seems to be hurting EVs in general, regardless of brand. The most popular models from Ford, GM, and Tesla are being excluded for reasons we're still not clear on. Next up today, I mentioned that Tesla will be holding an investor day on March 1st of this year. Martin Viecha tweeted about it, but a Tesla press release gives more details about what they'll unveil at that event. One particular detail is very big. They said, "We plan to host Tesla's 2023 Investor Day on March 1st, 2023. The event will be live streamed from our Gigafactory Texas with the option for some of our institutional and retail investors to attend in person, details to follow. Our investors will be able to see our most advanced production line, as well as discuss long-term expansion plans, Generation 3 platform, capital allocation, and other subjects with our leadership team." It's easy to miss, but right in there, Tesla said that they will discuss long-term expansion, including their Generation 3 platform. For a while now, Tesla has teased a cheaper $25,000 EV, but Elon Musk detailed this further during Tesla's last earnings call. He said, quote, "It's the primary focus of our new vehicle development team, obviously. At this point, we are done with the engineering for Cybertruck and for Semi, so it's obviously what we're working on, the next generation vehicle, which will probably be about half the cost of the 3 and Y platform. It will be smaller, to be clear. Half the cost of their current platform lines up exactly with a more affordable vehicle, and Tesla classifies the Model S and X as Generation 1, Model 3 and Y as Generation 2, so this will undoubtedly be Generation 3. He clarified further at the time, saying, quote, "Obviously we're going to take everything we learned from S, X, 3, Y, Cybertruck, and Semi into that platform. But we are on a 2-for-1 target. We're trying to get to that 50% of cost number again." The news on this front has been sparse, but a cheaper vehicle is clearly what people are most excited about from Tesla. It would be huge for the EV industry as a whole, since Tesla ships more EVs than anyone at this point. Tesla's long-term plans have been detailed in master plans written by Elon Musk, and for a while now he has teased the release of his master plan part 3. It seems likely that this will be part of the investor day on March 1st, so it's definitely something to look forward to. Loop Ventures, an analyst firm reporting on Tesla, expects that the Model 2, as people call it, will be unveiled in 2024 by Tesla. They will wait as not to ruin Model 3 sales and finally bring this vehicle to market in the middle of 2025. Those are predictions, and we'll likely see a lot of guessing until March, when Tesla hopefully gives us at least some insight into what this platform is looking like. Tesla's chief designer teased that his favorite Tesla design is one yet to be released, so there's plenty to look forward to. Next up today, over in China, Tesla has officially announced the launch of the Model S and X refresh. Pricing is set to come on January 6th, and deliveries will happen in the first half of the year. The Model S and X haven't come to China since Tesla refreshed these cars in January of 2021. Recently, they brought them to Europe for the first time since the refresh, and China appears to be next. Tesla said, quote, "Model S Plaid and Model X Plaid surprise debut at 2022 Auto Show. The two performance monsters will officially announce the price on January 6th. The deliveries start in the first half of 2023. The interesting thing here is that when Tesla sells a Model 3 or Y in China, it's made at Giga Shanghai. The Model S and X, however, are made in Fremont and will be imported for these deliveries. That has been part of this delay, along with general delays on both of these vehicles from Fremont. Great to see these vehicles finally coming to other markets. They're pricey and definitely not Tesla's focus, but the refresh is pretty remarkable. Next up today, Tesla has officially begun delivering the Semi, but little has been unveiled about the official specs of that truck. It's assumed to have a 900 kilowatt-hour battery pack, based on Elon Musk's quoted efficiency of 1.7 kilowatt hours per mile. But now we've gotten first images of what the battery pack itself looks like. Tesla hacker at Green the Only found images of the Tesla Semi from the parts catalog, and they show exactly where it is and what it looks like. He also notes that this modular battery is rated at 1000 volts. The details of the cooling system can be seen in this image, along with more specific detailed images. It's pretty cool to see the details of motors and more for the Semi, along with the images of where the steering control is. But I think the piece most people are excited about is the modular battery pack. It appears to have 9 large modules, with the center 3 modules being the largest. They're also much taller than any previous Tesla battery pack, so seeing details of how those batteries are stacked would be very interesting. As far as we know, these are not using 4680 cells. There's even more to see in these images, and if you're particularly interested, they're definitely worth checking out. This is a very exciting vehicle to see from Tesla, and I'm excited to see this out on the road. Last up today, some updates about other automakers. Rivian just hit their production goal on the final day of the year. In 2022, their guidance was for 25,000 units, meaning they had to produce over 14,000 vehicles in Q4 alone after first starting production of the R1T in September of 2021. In November, they said they were on track for their goal of 25,000 vehicles, and while Rivian hasn't officially announced this, it looks like they had a quiet celebration in their factory. It's a big achievement, and we should be hearing more from Rivian officially in the near future. It sets them up well for a successful 2023, and I'm excited to see more from them. Over at Polestar, they just shared a new video of the Polestar 2 BST 270 on the track. This is a limited edition variant of the Polestar 2, and will only have 270 units made, as it is highly modified. It has a 0 to 60 up to 4.2 seconds, and comes with a software update specifically made for performance. They say that it enhances the powertrain's responsiveness. Overall, it's just an example of how their engineering can make their cars even better, and it comes at the same time that they are celebrating accomplishing a 2022 delivery goal. For 2022, Polestar had a goal of 50,000 vehicles, and their CEO said, quote, "December at Polestar has been a crazy mission with an all-time high of deliveries. Team has been working extra hard right to the end of the year. Mission accomplished." He also posted a photo of Polestar number 50,000 from last year. They seem to be ramping up fairly well, and it's always exciting to see. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see more details about that confusing EV tax credit and which Teslas do qualify, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.